Guys, please stop telling people that college is a complete waste of time. Alright? Please. I've seen so many videos of people swearing to the bottom of their soul, to the freaking top of their head, to the beyond their eyebrows and beyond, that college is a complete waste of time. You see some guys saying college ruined my life. Phoenix University ruined my life. And then you see other guys saying, look, I'm a billionaire. I never went to college. College is a waste of time. I've made $1 billion with no college. I dropped out of school in middle school and I'm richer than your parents. Right? So you find all this weird stuff convincing you that college is a complete waste of time. So I'm going to kind of give you my perspective. I think a lot of that is BS. Alright, so I'll give you my perspective, and you guys can take it how you want, right? So let's use me for example, right? You know, I chose the engineering path. So let's use my path, and I'll just use a generic person. So let's take a 17, 18-year-old kid who doesn't know how to do much of anything, right? No real skill set. All they want to do is figure out. They want to become a millionaire. They want to be wealthy. They want to acquire a lot, but they don't have skills. They don't know what they're necessarily good at. So, what is their most likely way to actually be successful, become a millionaire, have investments, and soar into the future? What's their most likely option, right? It's gonna be college, guys. So this is why, right? Take that 17 or 18-year-old kid. Let's say they try to start a business. What kind of business can they start, right? More than likely, at 17 or 18, you don't have actually a skill set necessarily, right? So you'll find out that a lot of your businesses that you try to create might not really have any girth or meat to it, or any value to it. Now, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not trying to discourage you. All I want to tell you is, statistically, most businesses fail. So I wouldn't say that a business would be your best, most highly likely way to become a millionaire quick. So imagine this 17 or 18-year-old went to college, right? They went to college and they chose to go into engineering, right? There are other things you can go into, but I'm going to say engineering because I'm biased, right? I'm biased. I've experienced this. I know the power of engineering. I know how engineering affects the economy. I know how I know the value of engineering in the marketplace. I know how that grows over time. I know how valuable that is when it comes to sustainability and growth in the business and marketplace. So, in the marketplace. So, let's say that 17 or 18-year-old went to engineering school and they did everything in their power, right? Let's say they're not the most intelligent person on the block. They're not superior by any chance, by any means, but they just simply give engineering everything that they have, right? Everything. And they somehow manage to keep a 3.0 grade point average. You know what that means? That means they can get what you call an internship. Oh, that's that didn't mean it. That's just internship. No, that's very important. The internship is very important, because after that internship usually translates directly into a job. I mean directly. There's a shortage of engineers in the industry, and there's extremely large shortage. So what that means is when you find a internship in engineering, you technically have a job, like always. If your internship does not translate directly into a job, that means you did terrible at your internship. So if this student or this young person, 17 or 18-year-old guy or girl, managed to go to engineering school, maintain a 3.0, right? That's just studying your butt off, dude. That's it, right? Studying your butt off. Applying for internships. Guess what? You get the internship. Now you have a guaranteed job. That turns into a job. So all you have to do is go to that internship and work your butt off again until it turns into a job, until it translates into a job. Once you have your job offer, right? You're sitting with your job offer. Guess what that means? You're employed. But the good part is, this is where the magic happens, all right? The guarantee what I'm saying is almost guaranteed. Any accredited engineering school, right, will have a career fair, right? The career fair is going to have companies coming for engineers, and they're going to have shortages in engineers. This is the crazy part, man. It's like just a magic formula. It is almost guaranteed that you're it's a crazy thing. Look up any accredited engineering school, right? I would love to see people challenge this and prove it wrong. Look up any accredited engineering school, then look up a career fair associated with it. Look up the companies that come, and then look at the internships for engineering. You're going to see something. You're going to see companies coming from engineering. I guarantee you, because there's a shortage always, and it's going to get only worse. It's only get worse and worse, right? But the amazing thing is that's a guaranteed market, a guaranteed opportunity. So if you go to engineering school, keep the 3.0, get an internship, work really hard on the internship, translate that into a job, work really hard at that job, but don't just work. Focus on the key skill sets for the market. When you get that job, there are only certain attributes or tasks on that job that are very important for acquiring new jobs, right? So this is where it gets amazing. That job you get after your internship is probably going to be around $75,000. You can knock out $75,000 straight out of the gate from engineering school, right? You can do better, right? Some people do worse. But if you work your butt off, $75,000 is a solid starting number. Now here's where the magic happens even more. Remember those shortages I talked about? Well, as soon as you get that first job, you become immensely marketable. If you manage to stay at that job maybe a year, you have so many options, right? So if I give you a little glimpse into how I did things, I stayed at my first company roughly a year. I worked on the core skills that mattered the most. I studied the market. I studied, different applications, job applications. I found out what the core competencies were, and I made it. I think I about doubled my salary in 1 year. So a year later, from 75, 150, something like that, in that ballpark. At a very young age, and it just kept going up. But what I'm trying to tell you is, with this one guaranteed freaking approach, go to college, engineering, 3.0, internship, job for 75,000, and then guess what? Next year, job for 150. This path is very, very, very replicable. And if you can't, the hardest portion of this to me could possibly be from 75 to 150, because all of the learning will have to be on your own, self-regulated at home. So you're going to have to, while already making 75, have the discipline to keep going. I believe getting the 3.0 engineering school is easy because you're broke, you're desperate, you don't know what you're going to do with your life. So you're scared is F, and and that translates really easy to stand up and focus. The internship also, once you get the internship, you don't have a job actually, you're scared. You freaking still don't know what you're going to do, so you're working your butt off. Once that translates into a job, you get into this area where, well, I'm doing pretty good, right? Not that good, but you can start procrastinating. Like, I can wait. I'm making more than all those other guys. They didn't even get a job. I got a job guaranteed. I already had an internship. Yada yada. So now this is where discipline is important, because you have to go extremely hard in order to get to 150, or as high as possible within that next year. And what's crazy is after that year of experience, it just gets better and better and better. All right, I'll talk in other videos how you can use that to leverage and go into business, and use that money for investing, yada yada. But that simply put, that easily, right? You're making $150,000 before tax. In 10 years, you'll go through $1.5 million, right? So that'll be $1.5 million before tax. After tax, you'll probably go through $1 million, or maybe a little bit more than $1 million, or right around $1 million. But like in the unbreakable grind mindset, right? Well, you also have to remember that you'll more than likely have a significant other. okay, a significant other. I notice I'm married, all right. Well, they'll be just as smart as you, right? You should be equally yoked. You should be with somebody as smart as you. That just makes sense. So, you know, if you're with someone and they're just as smart as you and they do something of the similar, they're not following that stupid college is a waste of time. You can be a businessman, right? But you find a significant other, they go to college also, they follow the same formula. That means when you both get the internship, that's 75 times 2, that's 150. And once you both elevate to 150, you know, roughly, then that's $300K household income. So now guess what? Together you guys make $900,000 every 3 years. Every 3 years. I'm talking about if you start at 18, dude, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You're 21, dude. You're 21 making 150K household income. That means you're 22 making 300 household income. You add that first 150 to that, you know, to the 900K, and we're talking about roughly 25 years old, and you have your first $1 million, right? Now, of course, you have expenses, yada yada. I won't get into that, but who freaking, at the age of 25, has a legitimate way to get $1 million or even close, even $500,000 at a guaranteed rate with no real debt acquiring situations for the most part, right? Like it's just all free and clear for the most part. Now, there's also a portion, the student loans. When it comes to student loans, right, there are a lot of ways to minimize student loans. One, go to a smaller college, man. You don't have to go to this amazing Ivy League college. From the data I'm seeing, these guys aren't even doing better from Ivy League colleges, right? There are guys from Ivy League colleges that don't make any money at all. They're not making much money at all. It's kind of sad, right? You know, so what I'll tell you is go to a smaller or cheaper college, right? That's one. Two is if you can maintain the 3.0, you can get internships as early as your freshman year. That means you can actually have an internship paying pretty good money. I'm talking $20 an hour, $30 an hour, you know, even more within your, guess what, first year. If you use that money to pay for your tuition, you literally can come out of engineering school free and clear. All right, I wasn't able to do that because I was stupid. All right, I did not have a lot of guidance on finances, student loans, all of that. So I practically got as many student loans as I could. I leveraged student loans. I lived off of them. I did everything with student loans, and I got behind a lot. But I did everything else right. I maintained my good GPAs. I got my internships. I met someone else who was freaking smart also, my significant other, my wife right now. She did the same thing, and we paid off all those loans, $200,000 in freaking stupid student loans, right? That was dumb. But you know what? Going to college can be so freaking smart if you choose the right things, that it can counteract being freaking stupid at the same time. I was so stupid to acquire $200,000 in loans. Well, that's my loans and my wife's loans together. That's both of our loans added together in addition. But we accumulated so much cash so fast that we were able to pay off our student loans within the first or second year out of college, and we're still where we are, dude. We still have investment properties. We're still accelerating to $1 million really, really fast, and you know, I want to share that experience with you all. But you know, I won't ramble too much. I just want to say that there are a lot of ways to use college to turn it into a meal ticket, right? And I guess I want to be very, very clear. I'm calling it a meal ticket because not because it's easy, not because these approaches are easy, but because they're almost guaranteed if you dedicate and you do the steps. That's like it's literally, if you dedicate and you just do it, it's guaranteed. But if you don't have the discipline to dedicate, then it's not guaranteed. I hope people understand like how important that distinction is, right? If I chose to be a basketball player, I want to go to the NBA. I can play and I can play and I can play and I can dribble and I can dribble and I can give it my all, right? And I can even be better than guys. But if I'm, you know, if if it just doesn't work out, it just doesn't, you know. And if it doesn't work out, then the ball is gone, right? Like I missed opportunity and I have nothing. I'm left with nothing, right? And the probability of me going is so low. But with this approach, you're always left at the top. You have infinite leverage. It's like and once you go to school, you maintain your GPA, you get your internships, you get that job. Those skills become more and more valuable, The market in engineering is becoming in more and more demand. And if you follow these steps, guys, you will have a foundation that is amazing. I'll talk about a lot of other ways to, to think about this in the future, in future videos. I don't want to make this too long, but guys, stop spreading that BS that college is a complete waste of time. College done wrong is a huge and even worse than a waste of time. But doing it right, man, can make you a effing baller, man. You can become a baller and it creates a great foundation for people that don't know what they're doing at first, or even know what they're doing, but they want some freaking high percentage returns on their investments in time. So that's it, guys. Unbreakable Grind out. CJ out, man. Leave a comment. I'd like to know what you all think. Subscribe, please. And if you like the video, you like videos, you like the content, I look forward to creating things that you guys would love to see. I'm trying to be myself on these videos. Let me know in the comments also what I can do better, what you'd like to hear, what would you like to hear from me, what do I need to go more in depth about. And that's it, guys. Peace, man. Peace, and I love you all. Peace.